What's up guys, Amy here. Today's video is all about creating YouTube thumbnails that get more clicks and views, especially if you're a small YouTube channel. One of the major ranking factors on YouTube is getting a high click-through rate. Now, I'm not a graphic designer by any means, so what I want to do first is share with you a simple recipe to creating click-worthy thumbnails. After that, we'll jump into Canva and I'll show you the easiest and quickest way to make eye-catching thumbnails for free using this recipe. Let's go! Alright, here's the recipe that I personally use when creating thumbnails, and this is based on my own personal experience plus analyzing hundreds of YouTube videos that have a large amount of views. Number 1, include an image of your face. It's human nature to be drawn in when you see someone's face, especially when their eyes are looking directly at you. When you make eye contact with someone, it creates a personal connection, right? This also depends on your niche. For example, fitness videos usually contain a lot of body shots or before and after images in their thumbnail. This works because it's relevant to the niche. Now, I'm quite introverted and don't really go out of my way to take selfies, but in business and in marketing, including an image of your face humanizes you. It builds your online presence and brands your channel in the process. Here's what I do. Make myself presentable and take around 7 pictures with different emotional reactions using my HD webcam or smartphone. So these emotions include being surprised, happy, fearful, thinking, secret, angry, and sad. Once you take these photos, head to remove.bg, upload your images to have the background removed and download it. So instead of taking a photo of yourself every time you create a new video, you can just reuse these photos and crank out future thumbnails super fast. Okay, recipe number 2, adding words that evoke emotion in your thumbnail. Now, this doesn't apply to all videos. For example, if you create a lot of tutorials or review videos like I do, you don't need to overcomplicate the words you use in your thumbnails. For example, this video here is a tutorial on creating your custom domain to GrooveFunnels. So the thumbnail text is simply GroovePages custom domain update, and it simply describes the video content. But if you have a video on tips or advice or strategy, then it helps to use words that evoke emotion and get attention. For example, this video here is when I give 20 tips on using GroovePages, which is an app to build out a website or landing pages. And if you want that app for free, use the link in the description area to sign up. And instead of having just 20 GroovePages tips as the thumbnail text, I've added "you wish you knew." So the sentence becomes 20 GroovePages tips you wish you knew. It just adds a bit of curiosity and gets people clicking on the video. Now, about the use of clickbait words or provocative images in your thumbnail. If it's true and you can deliver on the promise in the video, then by all means use it. A tip when adding text in your thumbnail is think of it like an email subject headline. What short sentence can you use to get people to open up to your email? The same concept would apply to your YouTube thumbnail text. Also, keep it to 7 words or less. Ideally 4 to 5 words, because you can enlarge the text, make it bigger, and there's still some space left over for you to add in images of your face as well as visual elements. And you'll see this in the Canva tutorial later. And the text always goes on the left side of the thumbnail, because when you're reading a book, you naturally scan from left to right. Number 3, use easy to read fonts. If you're going to use words on your thumbnail, then avoid using script or curly fonts that's difficult to read, especially when a lot of people are searching on YouTube on their mobile. Because on mobile, your thumbnail shrinks to a much smaller size, and you want to make sure that your words is still readable on a small screen. My favorite fonts to use on thumbnails for free on Canva is League Spartan, Poppins, Montserrat, and Cooper Hewitt Heavy. I also make the text bold and uppercase so that it pops out more. And last, number 4, is to use non-YouTube colors. When you're on YouTube, there's 3 main colors on the platform, and that's red, white, and black. So if your thumbnail uses those 3 colors, it will just blend in the rest of YouTube. I got this tip from Brian Dean, who has an awesome channel on YouTube SEO. Brian recommends using Gobi colors in your thumbnails. So Gobi colors is green, orange, blue, and yellow. Where can you use these colors? You can use it in the background color in your thumbnail, in visual elements like icons and supporting images, Now, these are just recommendations because sometimes using black and red in your thumbnail does attract attention when everyone is using the same colors. A tip with colors is to do a search on YouTube using the keywords you want to rank for. So in this example, I want to make a video on how to make a YouTube thumbnail on Canva. And I'm just taking a mental note of the thumbnail colors on the first page of YouTube search. I can see green, orange, blue, red, and purple. These guys are smart. They're not copying each other and using the same color. So if everyone is using blue in their thumbnail, you might want to use a different color to stand out from the rest. By the way, guys, you can download this YouTube thumbnail recipe checklist and the Canva templates I'm about to create in this tutorial for free. The link is in the description area below. All right, it's time to hop into Canva and make the YouTube thumbnail right now. Just head to this search box and type in YouTube thumbnail. Canva already has the correct size loaded for you. Click on it. Instead of creating a design from scratch, the easiest and simplest way is to choose from the beautiful YouTube thumbnail templates available for you here. Taking in consideration of the tips mentioned in this video, I'm going to choose this template because the text here is bold and visible. It's also located on the left side. Let's click on it. Let's start with the background. We'll delete all of these texts and this element and click on the background, delete it as well. For the thumbnail text, we'll change this to click worthy and drag that out. The second text would be thumbnails and drag that out. Let's go back up top and click on it, highlight it all. We'll click on the drop down arrow and we'll change it to League Spartan. So you can just type in the word League and the font type should appear. Click on that. That will change that. I'll highlight again and change that font size to 73. Go down here, highlight it all, do the same and change that to 73 font size. Select League Spartan. We can also increase the spacing of the text by clicking on it and highlighting it all. Heading up here, and I'll increase the spacing to 102 looks fine with me. So we'll do the same down here, highlight it all, click on spacing, and I'll just type in 102. I do want to remove the black background behind the text, but let's go and change the background first by going to Photos and typing in background, search. I'm going to use this marble background because it's free and drag it in. If the background is appearing on top of the text, just click on it, position, push backwards. And now we can drag the whole background out. And I want to change this background color to a green. So what I'll do is click on the background, effects, and there should be a dual tone app for you to connect. Connect it first, go down here. I quite like sea green because green was one of the recommended colors. And now that we have the green background color, we'll click on the text, head up here to more and ungroup that. That way the background and the text is not joined together. Then we can click on the background by going here, deleting that and clicking on this background, ungroup, click outside, click back here so the background is selected and delete it. Now we'll select this text, hold it and drag it back up top, and the same applies here. And if you feel like the line height of click and worthy is too close to each other, just click on it, click spacing again, and you can increase the line spacing, but I'm happy to leave it at 1.11. Let's check on this as well, 1.11. Okay, cool. Next, we'll upload an image of my face. So we'll head to uploads and you can either drag in one of your images from the desktop or click on upload media and select from one of these connections. I'll go back here, drag in an image, pop it in there, click on it, move it to the right, double click on it and just decrease the image size by removing some of the spacing here. Press done. I'm just going to drag it out as big as possible to here and I'll move it over. Okay, quite happy with that. But now I want to brighten up my image. So we'll leave it clicked on, go to adjust for brightness and increase it to 13. For visual elements, I'm going to upload Canva and drag it in here. click on it, then I'll move it here and resize it. Now we'll head back to elements, select this circle, I'll change it to white, resize it as well, drag it up top, click on precision and move it backwards. Now I can click on the Canva logo and just move it around. And another way to deal with this is to use the arrows on your keyboard to move the image around. I also want to add a visual element or an image to represent thumbnails, and I'll simply upload my previous thumbnails I used on YouTube into this. Let's click on this, resize it, just pop it here, click on this, resize it, and the last one, we'll resize that as well, making sure that it's around the same size. Now I want to click on this and I'll rotate it by clicking on this rotate button. I'll do the same here, rotate. We can click on this, holding the shift key down, pressing this, and that's going to allow me to resize all the images together as well as moving it around. I'll let go, click outside, and the last thing to do is click on elements. I type in YouTube, click on this, resize it. We'll go here. I might space this out a bit, and this side as well, spacing it out a bit. I'll click on this, increase the size. Now we'll go to precision, push it backwards. And I quite like this, so we'll keep this, but let's duplicate this design and use the existing layout to make a second thumbnail by going here, duplicate. And we're going to delete all these visual elements, delete, head back to elements. Let's search for a visual that represents the text of this thumbnail. We'll type in click. This click with a yellow circle looks good, so I'm just going to select that, move it down here, resize it, place it here. We'll head back up top, select this YouTube element, go down here, paste it in with Control V. We'll resize that, just make it a bit bigger and this a bit bigger as well. And this is a way to use Canva's existing elements for free if you don't have any other images to upload. Now we're going to select the background so that it's highlighted with an outline. Delete this, go to colors, and I want to use Canva's aqua color. Good thing about Canva is that it loads the color of your photos under photo colors. So we'll click on that. And just to create some contrast, we'll go to elements, search for gradient, scroll down and click on the free version. So we can blend 3 colors into this. I'll head back up top. And since one of the recommended colors was blue, let's change this to a blue. This color to aqua, and the last color would be blue again. Now we'll increase this, move it up top. I'll rotate this, increase it, keep increasing it. We'll drag it up to right here and then click on position, push backwards again, and I might move this around, making it smaller, increasing this, moving it here. And you can play around with it. You can make this darker blue by clicking here and going to add new color and then moving that color around. Click on this. Let's choose this blue. And that looks okay, right? So we can go here, reduce the Canva logo a bit, moving it here, clicking outside. We want to decrease the border around. And I'm just going to use my arrow to shift it around, and that looks good. If you wanted the text to have a black outline, just click on the text. We'll go here, we'll change the font to Montserrat, and when you're creating an outline, you want to create a thick, bold text. We'll use Montserrat extra bold, unitalicize it, and apply the same here to Montserrat extra bold. Untick this. I'll drag this out a bit more. Let's create a black outline by clicking on it, Effects, and we'll use Splice. To reduce the gap between the outline and font, you need to bring this offset down to 0. Change the font color to white. For the outline color, you have to head up top and change it to black. Click here again, click Effects. Let's increase the thickness as well to maximum. We'll do the same for thumbnail text by going to Splice, increasing the thickness, reducing offset, changing color to white, and then going back here, clicking black. So there you have it. You now have a second thumbnail using elements that are freely available in Canva. When you're done, head to YouTube and compare your YouTube thumbnail to the other videos in the YouTube feed. And I quite like the top one because it stands out from the rest of the thumbnails here. One last thing, head back to Canva and go down here to reduce the size down to say 19%, because you want to see how your thumbnails would look like on a smaller device like your mobile phone. The text is still readable, and what we'll do now is click on download, click on the drop down, select the thumbnail you want to download, click done, download. Alright guys, hit that like button, show me some love, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, see ya!